If you're preparing to pitch investors, your pitch deck can be a powerful tool. But if it's not clear and compelling, it can actually hold you back. I've worked with thousands of founders, helped them raise millions, and reviewed more pitch decks than I can count. And I see the same 5 mistakes over and over. Today, I'm going to walk you through the biggest pitch deck pitfalls and, most importantly, how to fix them so you can feel confident and make the best impression possible. Stick around until the end because I'll share a bonus tip that can help make your investor conversations even stronger. And if you find this helpful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos on fundraising and pitching. Mistake number 1 is too much text on your slides. When slides are packed with paragraphs, investors end up reading instead of listening to you, which is just human nature. And if they're reading, they're not fully engaged with you, which is what really matters. Use bullet points and let them glance and go back to listening to you. Instead of writing out full paragraphs, think about listing the high level and important details or metrics that you quantified. For example, instead of a long paragraph explaining 3 core statistics that address the problem, try 3 bullet points that summarize what you just mentioned. Your slide should support your narrative, not compete with it. Mistake number 2 is too many slides. You don't need 20 plus slides to get your point across, no matter your industry. I've also been sent plenty of decks over 50 slides, which is a painful email to get. The reality is less is more. For an initial investor meeting, 10 to 15 slides is ideal. This keeps the conversation focused and gets the investor wanting more. Of course, if an investor asks for more details, that's where your appendix comes in. But that's separate from your core deck, and I can cover a winning appendix in the next video. A clear and concise deck shows investors you respect their time and understand what's most important. Mistake number 3 is small font that's hard to read. I like to say, assume your audience is old, tired, and has bad eyes, so whatever you add to your slides, ensure it's big, takes up space, and is clear to read. So heading should be 28 plus point font. Body text should be at least 20 plus point font. And if you got important numbers, bold them so they stand out. And if your slide looks crowded, it's a sign you need to simplify the content. I say, when in doubt, expand it out. Fill the space by increasing only essential text and imagery versus cramming a ton of information to make it feel cluttered. Mistake number 4 is using fancy animations or transitions. They might seem like a nice touch, but they cause more issues than you can imagine. I've seen them glitch during meetings, and they can slow down your pitch, and they don't actually add value to your presentation. Avoiding unnecessary effects keeps the focus on your message and ensures you can have natural transitions. And mistake number 5 is designing the deck before structuring your pitch. This is one of the biggest time-wasting mistakes I see, jumping straight into designing slides before planning out your message, because this often leads to oversharing, unclear messaging, and endless revisions. Instead, outline your story and the order in which you want to communicate things first, then build your deck. Once your story is clear, then you can focus on design. I've seen plenty of decks fail or glitch, so you have to know what you want to communicate without relying on your slides. This also acts as insurance, so you're able to describe what you do without having to need visuals. And paying someone to design your deck without understanding what your pitch is will also waste a ton of your money and time. And now for a bonus tip. Make your ask extremely clear. A strong pitch clearly outlines your funding ask and what investment it will achieve. So for example, we're raising $1 million to scale sales and product development, which will 3x our customer base and bring us to $5 million in revenue within 18 months. It should be that specific. And instead of listing expenses, discussing the outcomes will make you seem more prepared, confident, and growth focused. That wraps up the 5 biggest pitch deck mistakes and how to avoid them. I want to know which one stood out to you the most, so drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're serious about improving your pitch, subscribe now because I'm sharing even more strategies to help you raise capital with confidence.